Jillian?
Yep.
Okay, would you read yours?
It said, with Stella being so different from other films and representing women who are against common culture and denounces marriage and explores a new sexual role, did Greek men or women take offense to this, or did they admire it? And in addition, I know it won many awards, but was there any tension about the way she was acting and depicted in the film?
Oh, yes. Quick answer is, oh, yes. I think when you look at Stella, in some ways, it's the tension between modernity and tradition. Everything is between modernity and tradition. And Stella is not a modern person, but she's trying to break with tradition, and she doesn't succeed. I mean, who she fall in love with finds the most macho guy possible. So she's not exactly a feminist, and yet that's in her guts. And so what does she do? She ends up rejecting him. And by the way, an orchide, okay, not an accident. And then she suffers the Greek tragedy of fate. And it's very interesting. I think the final scene of that film is quite powerful, because basically she's saying to him, are we going to live out the usual, which a woman can do this, and if she disobeys, you got to kill her? Well, I've disobeyed. No, are you going to throw away your knife, or are you going to use it? And he keeps telling her, go away, go away, go away, because he doesn't want to kill her, but he's got to kill her because of the tradition. So I think it's a very powerful film. We saw it again recently at the Greek Film Festival, and it still has a lot of charge to it. Now, Melina. Melina Mercouri is a one of a kind. Melina Mercouri was not the best singer in Greece. In fact, if you look at Stella, the older woman who sings in Stella, Sofia Vembo, much better singer, much more famous singer. Ellie Lembetti, who's in the next Capriati's film, is a much better actress. Dancers, I can think of 6, 7 people that are better dancers. But there's something in the package of Melina which is quite different. Her personality, you know, what they say in Hollywood, she's got star quality. There's something about that. When she's on the screen, you're looking at her. And I got to tell you, when you meet her in person, when you met her in person, she was exactly the same way. I mean, she wasn't Stella, but she was very powerful, very personable, very Greek. I mean, she had an apartment in the 1/5 Avenue in New York, and she had brought her own cook with her because she wasn't going to eat American cooking. So she was living in the United States, she brought her own cook, and this person, wherever she went, this person went with her to cook for her around the world. You know? Very Greek, and very passionate about whatever she was doing, when she was right and when she was wrong. And of course, later on, when she left making films, she became the Minister of Culture in Greece. She did a lot to help Greek film culture, and she's the person who started bringing back the Parthenon marbles to Greece. And I remember when she started doing that, we said, this will never happen. Well, I think it is going to happen, and it's probably because she pushed it so hard and she had such celebrity. Everybody who went to Greece, they'd say, I want to meet Melina. And so they'd bring her out and so forth, and she'd say, we want to get the Parthenon marbles back. So she's a very strong personality. And she was known in Athens as a strong personality. She came from a wealthy family who had been in politics, and she got married, I think, when she was 14, 15, 16, some early age, and she got divorced a few years later. She went to the theater one night, and she just loved the theater so much that she went to the same play for the next 40 days in a row. And then she said, I'm going to become an actress, I'm going to join the theater company. They said, no, you're too young. Somehow she got in, and before you know it, a year or so later, she's playing Blanche Dubois in the Greek version of Streetcar Named Desire. In Kakoyannis saw her and said, that's Stella, let's bring her in, we'll make her Stella. So, how do Greeks look at her? Greece has what they call the exceptional woman. The Greek men can admire her but they don't want their daughters and they don't want their wives to be like Stella. And you'll see that throughout Greek history. There's always this exceptional woman. Everybody admires her and so forth, but don't you be like her. I think of Bouboulina in the Greek Revolution. You know, she's a ship captain and she runs ships and sinks Turkish vessels. She's a great hero in Greek history. But if you're a woman and you say, "Oh, Dad, I want to be a captain of a ship, or I want to join the military," they'll go crazy. So she is an exceptional woman in that sense. In the United States, people were very offended because they said she plays a prostitute. But she doesn't. In Stella, she's not a prostitute. She is a serial monogamist, more or less. I mean, she has sex until the guy wants to marry her, which is, what a great idea. You know, in Greece, what is a woman supposed to do? She's supposed to preserve herself and be ready to get married. And so in Stella, the modern woman says, if you want to marry me, romance goes out the window. I go to somebody else, because when you marry me, you just make me be your cook, your servant, and so forth. So it kind of reverses things. So Greek women got the right to vote in 1951. And so this film came out 2 or 3 years later, following the play. So it was a kind of a cutting edge as far as feminism was concerned in Greece. And it was pretty popular in Greece, but it had detractors. And it was never on a left-right basis, because some of the left-wing people didn't like it because they said, oh, they show working-class people as not having a lot of culture and what have you. So Kapriani's films are often like that. So I don't know if that answers your question or deals with it. By the way, I'd like to have you feedback, say, oh no, I'll follow up if I don't see it going.